Hello, you sneaky bunch of reprobates. No respawns here. Hope you're doing well. So we've had a glorious day, and the fact is that we've got quite a decent and transformative update for Fallout 76, especially in regards to building and the camp system in general. So what I'm doing in this video is just go over the camp-related changes as well. I will reference a couple of the others as well. If you want to see the full patch notes, they are in the description, because obviously there are loads of wee changes and changes that potentially I don't particularly find very interesting, so can't be bothered to mention, and all that jazz. The one non-building change, which I'm quite excited for, is the fact that you can now respec. So every time you, say for example, like now, my stats are all just, I didn't realise that when you hit level 50, you can't add then any more stats. So for example, like, I wouldn't mind to maybe put a few more points into strength and possibly get rid of a few intelligence and maybe just move points around. So now what you can do is when you level up, you can actually choose between a perk or respecking a stat, which is quite cool, I feel. But that outside of that, we're going to focus mostly on the building stuff. So the biggest thing we've got, well, potentially not the biggest thing, there are two actually quite big things, but the one I'm most excited for is the fact that we have the Bulldozer feature. So as you can see, I'm in my normal base that you all know and love, I'm sure, and the reason why I go here is because obviously I've got this big flat area and it's largely devoid of rocks and all that jazz, bar my lovely assistant here who will be my test dummy, and I can show you how it works. So how the Bulldozer feature works now, it's pretty cool and very straightforward. Let's just find something random that I've got stored. Perfect. Whenever you move a placeable item over them, they will kind of disappear and reappear, and when you place them, the items will disappear completely. This is pretty cool. For example, normally there's a giant log right here that's really annoying. Now it's gone because obviously I've got stuff that will be intersecting it. A quick note is if you're like me, where you look at these rocks and think, I don't actually want to, I want to get rid of these rocks, but I don't want to place an item there. Well, if you just place the item there normally, and then kind of effectively just place the item there and then remove it, the objects, well, the stones and the debris actually stay removed for the entirety of your session. So when you log back out and log back in, they will obviously have returned again, the ones that aren't intersecting immediately. So for example, this log that's normally here is always gone when I log in, because of the fact that immediately when I log in, an item's placed on top of it, those stones won't be. I think it's probably the best they can do, given the fact that there's obviously a lot of this stuff is server side, but at least for now you can just, you know, if it really annoys you and you've got a long session plan, you can just place some items down. Quick note, so it works for trees like this. Doesn't work for big trees. It doesn't seem to work for feature elements. Annoyingly, at least right now, it doesn't work for long grass, which is a shame, but I'm wondering whether they'll address that one. It does work for the small trees, though obviously if you've got this one's actually an exception, because this tree has a branch that's been added for a specific feature. So for stuff like that, it won't be able to get rid of it, but like for normal trees, it's fine. Not obviously quest-related stuff. I imagine they'll probably add more stuff that you can get rid of later down the line, but currently, you know, little kind of skeletons and things like that you can't get rid of, and the big trees. But I imagine things like cars and just, you know, the standard run-of-the-mill debris. Once I move my camp, because I'm going to do that after this one, I'll actually be able to kind of test it out a bit more and see what stuff we can make disappear, which is quite grand. On the subject of disappearing, segueing rather smoothly, now when you log in, I've been trying to log in and log back out and test it, but unfortunately, apparently none of you like this location anymore. Fine. But basically, when you log in, you'll get a notification when someone is in your spot, and you'll get a choice to log into that server or choose a different one. This is pretty cool. If you choose to still log into the server, your camp will disappear, but it won't be stored. So if you don't actually place your camp while you're on that session within that server, you log back out and then you log into a server where your space is free, your camp will be placed there as normal. That is fantastic. I know that feature is people have been screaming for it quite a lot, especially all over Reddit and just generally all over the internet, and I'm really happy. This is great for me as a building channel, because it means I can actually show you where I am. I showed people where this one was. For those of you curious, it is wrong button. It's here. And over the course of the first week after that video went live, because it was on like 100 50,000 views, 140 or whatever, it meant that I kept logging in and having to replace my camp because people were building in my spot. Now I don't mind, which is cool, because that means when I find cool spots and build cool camps, which is what I'm going to now do going forward, it means that I can show you where I am, so if you want, you can build there too, and we won't have to fight for our space. So what next? So they have annoyingly fixed an exploit, which well, it's not really an exploit, it was just a bug that I quite liked. It's not the end of the world because of the way you buy plans, but I'm just going to explain it, what it was, and that it doesn't exist anymore. So prior to today, you could place, say I wanted, like, that chair, for whatever reason, say I wanted this big red one here, because see, it's got the lock. What I could have done is placed down one I already owned, stored it, gone to the stored tab, bump, 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 and then scrolled over to it and placed it down. Now that what I've done is in the stored tab, you only have the things available in the stored tab as visual elements, so that way you basically can't place them anymore. It's a bit of a shame. It was a bit of a weird one as well, because the way they worded the patch notes, it sounded like they fixed something different to this, so I wasn't too sure, but they have, which is a bit irritating. I'm mixed feelings about this one. I kind of feel as if they should have held off a little bit, just because, given obviously the salt surrounding the game, but also just a lot of us haven't considered stocking up on plans because of the fact we've already been able to do this, it will have limited your decoration elements a little bit. But on the other hand, most of the furniture and decoration sets are in multi-pack pans, so you spend like 200 caps and you just unlock everything in that tier anyway. So I'm kind of on mixed feelings. I did make a video recently where I told you where you can get a load of plans, but I did actually mention this in comments, but I forgot to naturally mention the video. Most of the decoration plans are all available at the White Spring Resort. So if you just go down, it's in the kind of lower level, and there is an entire load of vendors who sell all of the plans. Well, most of them. It's one of those things that it's annoying because of the fact that I now have to go and get them. However, it won't bother you. You know, you're going to spend, what, maybe 1,000 caps on getting the stuff that you wanted, and then you'll have access to all of the chairs, all of the clocks, and everything anywhere. On just a quick point, if you have already got a camp placed and already have these things out, don't store them unless you intend to move positions, because it only switches them back once the item's been stored. So, for example, I don't have this cooking stove, this chair, or, you know, that Nuka-Cola clock, or that bed. However, because I haven't actually stored them yet, I can actually have them right now, which is pretty decent. But because I'm moving up my camp, I just have to accept the fact those are gone. On to more cheerful things. You may notice the sweet, soothing sounds of wind chimes. They have fixed the wind chimes, so now you can place them down, and they work, which is nice, which is grand. So I'll show you them. If those of you who didn't know they existed for whatever reason, but wind chimes, you can just place them on. Obviously, you still have to place them on stuff. You know, for example, the tent is a bit weird for placing items on because, you know, they float a little bit. But they look nice, which I'm quite nice. You can't actually collect them as you can the ones you see around the map, but, you know, they're still pretty cool, and you can place them everywhere, which is grand, and you should, because wind chimes are cool. What else? So they've also added a feature where, say you want to tidy up your menus, only see the stuff that you have unlocked. On console, you just pop in the left toggle, so you see it says toggle buildable objects at the bottom there, and you can toggle them on and off. I believe with, well, I've got the patch notes open, I believe it's Q on PC, and that enables you to toggle them off and open, so it's pretty cool. I'm on PC anyway, but I'm playing with a controller. Alongside that as well, what else have they done? They fixed the generators. They've updated the power, rather, of the windmill, so now the windmill does 12 power rather than 3. The 3 kind of maybe was fine for Fallout 4, because obviously the build limit is quite robust, but obviously in Fallout 76 it's not much, so I like the fact that they've given it, because it's my favourite generator as well. It looks really cool, and I have some builds in mind. That is all of the stuff that I can think of right now regarding the camp. As I said, I'm not going to list up. There are loads of other features in regards to, you know, quest fixes. They've gotten rid of loads of the exploits. There's a push to talk setting. I don't ever use the talking function in the game. I might start now that push to talk is a thing. But yeah, push to talk now exists, as well as depth of field and field of view and higher resolution support as well. So there's loads of little tools for you to play with on PC, and those are quest fixes. So a link in the description for the full patch notes. The next patch is on the 18th, I believe, so next week. I believe it should be next Monday then, shouldn't it? Next Monday, Tuesday. I don't believe, as of me recording this video right now, they don't have the patch notes available, but I imagine they'll give us a wee update soon, which would be really cool. I hope they continue to go down this route of adding more stuff, which is quite cool. Oh yeah, one more thing actually, I forgot to mention, I'll quickly do that now, is they've added it so, because I forgot this one, and now you can unlock the atomic store items directly from the menu without having to exit and go to the atomic store. This is just convenience, but it's also useful because it means you can now see what the objects look like, rather than, you know, kind of having to rely on a picture. I will say that it doesn't seem to have added all of them unless I can't find them. For example, these canopies I couldn't find, which is weird. So it might be only certain stuff. They probably just need to patch it in, which is odd. But yeah, so you can see most of the items now. Anyway, that is everything. I will have a new video up later in the week on Fallout 76. I will also, I know I've been holding off doing this, but I will have my Let's Play, will be starting again as of tomorrow. As mentioned, it's the reason being that I haven't been doing them is just that I've been finishing my end of 2018 real work projects. Are quite simple. When I've gotten home, I've just been really, really lazy and haven't done anything because I've been super exhausted. Also, when I'm on holiday next week for the rest of the year, and I'm going to start doing, again, Fallout 4 mods. They won't be very regular, probably one every few weeks, to be utterly honest, because obviously I've got loads of the content I want to focus on, but now expect to see those, and I will do videos when they're open and ready for use. But until my next video, as always, follow me on Twitter, @norespawns, if you want to see what I'm up to. I play a lot of Necromunda and Warhammer 40k, by the way, so if you want to see me live tweeting my epic matches where I forget objectives and just focus on killing the enemy and then lose but have fun, definitely follow me there. But until my next video, I will speak to you fantastic bunch soon. You take care.